Hello everybody, hope that you are good. The last video aged pretty well. I mean, everything we said is pretty much happening right now, so I'm very happy that that's the case, feeling blessed. Also want to say thank you to all of you for your support. I'm receiving a lot of messages these days saying that, well, thanks to the information that I provided, it helped you to be prepared for this case, for this Wick fill idea. Then it happened, and it helped you to first save money, and second, to get advantage of this move. So I'm feeling very honored. I'm very humbled that that's the case. Just wanted to say thank you for all those messages. Now in this video, of course, we're going to talk about this long week. We're going to analyze what has happened and what is potentially going to happen in the future. But the whole video is not going to be about the week like the last one. We're also going to talk about some structure that I'm seeing right here. We're also going to go to the Bitcoin dominance for a while. Solana is moving very nicely. It's one of those coins that right now, along with Bitcoin, I'm charting the best. I'm fully positioned into Solana at the moment, both in spot and in futures. So yeah, I have a few things to say about that. But anyway, let's get started. So the first thing is this long week, all right? Long weeks are imbalances in the chart that tend to get filled. They also represent open interest gaps because with these sharp moves, there are many orders that haven't been triggered. And this market is quite efficient, right? So at the end of the day, well, the exchanges and what the market maker wants to make is money. And that money gets earned by fees. And the way that they get those fees is by traders engaging into the chart and opening trades, closing trades. And for that, they need to fill sometimes those open interest gaps on these long wicks, which in my opinion is pretty much the same. And that's the way I put it together, okay? That's to me the theoretical part of the wick fill strategy. But anyway, we'll talk more about that in the course that should be, by the way, ready by next month, the start of the year. We haven't had it for 5 months or more, but I'll be happy to reopen some slots again because I see so many people interested. So might be time to open those slots again. But in that case, then, based on my observation, the 50% level of the week, it's a very interesting zone where we often see reactions. Okay. So that's why I always mark the 50% level, because I go level by level, so it's possible to expect a bounce off from that level. Now, if that level doesn't hold, then yes, you can go back to the 100% of the week. But here, in terms of trading, it's quite simple, okay? You can open a limit order of the 50% of the week, see if there is a reaction. Now, if there is a reaction like what happened here, then you could see price going back here. That's fine, but what you don't want to see is consolidation here, okay? If you saw some consolidation here at the 50% level, that usually signals that price is gonna go down to the 100% of the week. So the only way to trade this is manually, okay? Any trader that it was trading the wick fill strategy with a stop loss in this zone, I'm sorry, that's a bad trader. You don't do that. That's not how you trade a long week, okay? The way to invalidate is manually. You need to see consolidation because you cannot trade blindly. You need to see what price action is actually doing, what is the intention. To these kind of traders, in many occasions, what they see is price hitting their stop losses and then continue going higher, right? So yeah, I want to mention that because also you can take the information, because if price does something like this, which I don't think it will, but if it does, and it starts to consolidate here, then yes, cut that trade off, get out, price is going to go to the 100%, but that is likely not going to happen, all right? Now, I'll tell you what I think is the situation here. I think that this week is done. The 50% level got filled. Therefore, that imbalance to me is completed, is done. And based on that, now you can start to look for some structures here. So you're gonna notice this trend line here that if we mark, you got a trend line, you had the long week, that week has to get filled. It gets filled exactly to the 50% here. You start to see wicks to the downside, but price not progressing any lower, which means that there is a reversal happening. This is a deviation. You are back above the trend line, and now the trend line could act as support to continue going up. Okay, that's what I think. I think that price can continue going higher. That's the way I position myself. Okay, so yeah, in my opinion, that was a deviation. A lot of traders got liquidated here. We also talk, remember guys, in the Telegram channel, I think it was, or in YouTube, I don't remember, we talk about this long wick here in the 4 hour time frame. That wick was already telling you, guys, don't panic here. Don't panic after 50%, okay? Don't worry, because you have this other long wick here. The price needs to go back too, so maybe they take you out a tiny bit, but price eventually needs to go back up. Get that wick done, alright? So far right now, the structure is intact, because that's just a deviation. The structure hasn't changed. You are back above the 4 hour 50 MA, and the trend is to the upside. So in my opinion, the next few weeks, few months for Bitcoin are looking pretty good, because in my opinion, yes, this was a very big imbalance that needed to get filled as soon as possible. And as I said, much better if we can fill that wick straight away, get done with that long wick there, because now price has filled a wick. That's a deviation. The trend line is perfect, can continue going up in price, but if we didn't fill this long wick, then okay, price could go high, and then it would need to have a sharp drop back to this level, back to the wick, and maybe that would break the bullish structure. So as I said, with long wicks, the sooner they get filled, the better, because you can forget about them. Price doesn't need to go back down now, okay? Price can continue going up in my opinion. So that's all I have to think for Bitcoin. And now, if you didn't take any entry in trend environment, I would recommend making use of the 50 EMA. So depends now if you are a scalper, a day trader, a swing trader, then you're gonna choose your time frame, but pay attention to the 50 EMA, okay? And that's where you can take some good entries in Bitcoin and in altcoins. Now, if you go to the Bitcoin dominance, which I think is the most interesting chart at the moment, without any doubt, even more interesting than Bitcoin, is giving us a lot of information, and we can trade based on this. But very quick analysis here, okay? I like to do it in every video so you guys understand the context. The big arrow, this projection, that's high time frame. This small one is low time frame from the last video I posted on Saturday. Today is Wednesday, okay? So pretty much, I'll go very quickly. You had a range here for 2 years. You see very sharp reactions and pullbacks from that resistance. You can see there, it takes 2 candles. However, here, you have consolidation in resistance. There is something there changing. The behavior is different. That already tells you that price is potentially going to break up. We call that in a video. Price breaks up, pulls back to the top of the range. We call that too continuation, as we said, towards 60% to fill up all these inefficiencies here, these liquidity pools, those long candles, all right? And eventually we said 61 to 55%, that's our level. But not only that, price should deviate above it to confirm that there is going to be a downtrend. And if you go into the 4 hour time frame, you can see that very clear. Deviates above it and drops. So now what we have here is a high time frame downtrend at the moment. If we go into the daily time frame, I don't think that this is a corrective move. I think, well, corrective move in an uptrend, I don't think that's the case. I think it's going down eventually towards 52%. That's our first target. And on Saturday video, we were talking about this behavior here, which it was long wicks at the lows, but price is not progressing any further. It's not breaking lower. Why? Well, because the market maker is making sure the price is holding here before reversing, okay? That's what happens in every single chart. That's part of my trading system. Now, what you see there was a push up towards this box that we marked. Also, you have there the daily 50 MA resistance. It's acting as resistance. Going to the 4 hour time frame, you can see here better. So far, that box there, it's a very strong resistance, okay? So what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see the Bitcoin dominance going lower? Down, retrace, down. Okay, that's what I think it is. Now, time is only going to prove me right or wrong about this. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, so let's see what happens. But in my opinion, the Bitcoin dominance should continue going down, all right? That's what I think, simply because I don't see any other reason. Let's go back to the weekly time frame. I don't see any other reason why it should continue going higher. We've already filled all these imbalances. We've deviated at that level. Why should it continue higher? I don't find any reason at the moment, okay? So, yes, to me, let it go lower, 52%. If 52% breaks from here, then perhaps we go again to the range size. Now, I don't know if we're gonna fall back into the range, okay? To the range lows. That would be a very epic all season. I don't think if we'll go that low or not at the moment. Difficult to tell. But so far, I'm betting on altcoins all this time since here, okay? Because it's in a downtrend, very clearly to me. So that's the Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you go to the total 3, this is basically the chart that marks the altcoin market and stablecoins. So here we were saying that the Bitcoin dominance was gonna pull back to the upside, okay? While Bitcoin was gonna go down to fill the 50% of the week, then altcoins, based on this, they were gonna drop lower, between a 10 and a 20%. Now, if we mark here what happened this week, you're gonna notice that is exactly 17 or 18%, okay? This includes stablecoins, so yeah, it was more like 20-25% in several altcoins, but pretty much that was on point, which it was a very, I was even shocked that I was right about that, because a few things have to happen in order for this to play out. Yes, the Bitcoin dominance went up, Bitcoin went down, altcoins gave us that very sharp pullback to the downside, where we could add into our current spot backs or long positions. In the case of Ethereum, at resistance, I do think that eventually will break above here, above this level. You only need some consolidation above this, alright, and then go up. Same as with the Bitcoin dominance. So far at this level, we are seeing very sharp retraces. However, if we start to see a bit of consolidation here, either below or above, I don't care. That's change of behavior, change of environment. If we see that, price is potentially signaling a breakout to 5,500-ish. Alright, so that's what I think for Ethereum. Any dip is for buying. Next, Solana. Let's go into the daily time frame. We've been talking about this idea since we were around 230, 240. We were talking that a pullback was potentially going to happen in Solana below the previous high as a deviation. That's what we marked and that's what happened. While the daily 50MA was going to be holding price in order to continue the uptrend. Alright, so we could continue going higher. So far that's what happened. You can see here, if we zoom in, deviation below the white line, that's the previous high. Daily 50MA holding, price should continue going higher. Going to the 4-hour time frame, guys. Look at that. Also, in the Telegram channel, we talked yesterday, there is a very long week. That long week is gonna get retrace. That's your second entry. Because I know that many of you were not checking the charts at the time that this happened, this long week, and then you probably thought, oh, damn, I missed this opportunity. What can I do? I answered to some guys in the Telegram group chat, and I was saying I think that it's very likely that we go back to that week. So you haven't missed anything. You can still get in. That's what happened. At the same time as we were holding above the daily 50MA, and now we're finding resistance at the 4-hour 50MA. Now, if you are thinking about entering again, I'll tell you what my plan is. I enter both in a spot and futures around 210, 209. Okay. In a spot, I'm holding until we make a new at the highest around 300. That's probably what I'll start to sell, and that's in spot. And in futures, my plan is I think the price is likely gonna go to this level, However, were a resistance, so feel free to sell some of your positions. I think I might do that now. I might sell maybe 20-25% of my current long position from the lows. And my idea is to pretty much close most of my position here, around 240. You can see that that area could be quite a strong resistance. You can see that there. However, what I'm expecting is price to go to that level, retrace back into the 4-hour 50 MA, and that's where I can take another entry, okay? Because that is telling me, okay, that could be a new higher low. Because if you notice here, you have lower low, lower low, lower low. Now what you need here is, well, perhaps we don't make a higher high here, but we can make a higher low, okay? And that could signal that price is likely gonna go higher. So that's what I'm thinking for Solana at the moment. It's looking really good, both in spot and in future. So I'm very happy trading this. Now, if we go into other altcoins, for example, TIA, you can see also this structure. We're talking about potential deviation below the range highs. We've got it. It went even lower. Daily 50 MA is holding very well. Potentially we're getting back above the range highs. If that is the case, that is telling me that that was a shakeout deviation. Price should go to $12, okay, which is this pivot point here. And look, this is pretty much what is happened, okay? Sometimes here you get first this shakeout, okay, that deviation there, as you can see here, but then price would eventually gonna go towards that, take profits there, all right? So I think that's where we are. And like this, you can see other altcoins. MANTA, another one that I've got in. Look at this, is the same exact chart, same structure, guys, same structure. You have a range here, you have a pivot level, another pivot level. I opened here 2 entries. The first one was at that dotted line, that pivot, and the other one was at the range highs. Average entries in the lower part of the lower middle part here. So pretty much at the daily 50 MA support. So as long as I don't lose that daily 50 MA, I'm not closing my position manually. That's my invalidation. But in my opinion, something like this should happen. Look at that pivot level. The same as TIA is 12, here for MANTA is 1.83, alright? That's my take profits in a spot, alright? So that's the way that I'm trading this current environment. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.